Previously on Wonders and Blunders.
You see a woman's face, like deathly pale. She pulls out a small necklace, which on the end has 2 black raven feathers and what looks like a beak. I'll give you the items you seek if you give this to the one who resides in the steady stream. From the back comes this tall, muscular woman, and she gives you this huge, warm smile. Now, she says, if you need anything at all, my name is, I'm Bridget Killane.
The magic wall. What's behind it? And I'll give her a bit of a wink while I say.
She says it's just a workshop. The figure sort of steps forward closer to you, and you see Bridget. And you start to see the illusion sort of like shifting away from around her. You see the big spider eyes, her teeth elongate into these sort of tubed fangs, and she bites into you. As you like freeze up entirely, you see your own reflection being dragged out through the orb on the ground, and then you wake up.
It's great big creature. Is not something one would want to see again.
No.
Vaelin is smart for wanting to avoid.
Perhaps we should face our fears.
And as you say that, you open the door to the steady stream, and you see Bridget sitting across from Yuri. So you open the door to the steady stream, you see Bridget sitting with Yuri. Yuri is still pale as a ghost and shivering across from her. Looking worse, actually, than when you left him. So you enter.
Worse?
Yeah, he was beginning to remember when you all left, and everybody avoided that problem
by leaving.
Yeah, and allowing him to stew in it on his own for
With no
a couple
comfort.
hours. You guys have been gone for a couple of hours now on your various side adventures. So you come back in, the place is empty. You can hear Fred and Ted in the kitchen sort of cleaning up. The two of them just sort of sitting quietly, watching you expectantly as you walk into the steady stream.
Hi there, Yuri.
Hello?
Hey, Yuri. Hey, Bridget. Nice to see you guys.
And Bridget looks a little bit bashful, sort of, as you enter, and she motions for you to sit down.
Hello, Bridget.
Hello?
How'd you sleep? How you feeling?
Fine.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I'm glad to hear it, Vaelin, but Bridget?
Well, I didn't sleep much, honestly. I suppose maybe we should... And she kind of glances over at the kitchen. Have a conversation somewhere private?
Sure.
Yeah, now that the circumstances have worked themselves out, I'd love to meet Jellybean again.
Well...
Three shudders.
We don't have to go all the way downstairs, do we?
Well, it's up to you.
Oh, sure we can, guys. I mean, this is Bridget's home. She's inviting us. I think it's fine.
It is the most private place.
Yes, of course.
So she...
I'll clap Vaelin on the shoulder and be like, yeah, we got this. It's all right.
So she stands up and starts walking towards the kitchen. Yuri tries to stand and then kind of sits back down again, and then shakily gets up and starts following. And
Ben will walk up. Here, Uncle Yuri, and he'll hold his hand out and try to hold Yuri's hand and walk with him.
Yuri, you feel his shaking hand sort of grab yours. It's sweating. He's pale and cold as he starts to walk, and he's just like, oh, no, what happened? Oh, it's all coming back to me now. As you make your way, Bridget walks into the kitchen. She says, Fred and Ted, thank you so much for watching things the past couple of days. Take the rest of the day off. I'll take care of this. We're going to go and do some inventory downstairs. And the two of them sort of nod and make their way out as you make your way down into the basement.
Well, this is starting to feel like a home away from home now.
Yes, well, you certainly managed to make it that. And she walks over and just kind of easily pushes the door open, and steps through the illusion. So you see her disappear through the wall.
All right.
She didn't bring a torch down this time, so it's pretty dark. The light from up in the kitchen extends down just far enough that you can see the illusion of the wall for those without dark vision. And you see her step through.
Yeah, Ben would like lead Yuri right through the illusion.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you follow her right after?
Yeah, and then when we get in, Ben is gonna like look up right away.
Yeah.
And he's just going, that's where the spider was, Uncle Yuri, the big one.
And he kind of like looks up after you just as the legs sort of like make their way out of that hole. And it just slowly like pushes itself out. And again, like in a very similar way, those legs come down around you on all sides and start following Bridget as she makes her way farther. And you have dark vision, so does Yuri. So he faints. Immediately. So you just you're holding his hand and you look up to see the spider and you just hear kunk, and look down and Yuri is face first on the ground on the cold stone.
I guess I step through the illusion and trip on Yuri.
Yeah, okay. So a small pile-up starts to happen as everybody just falls in on top of each other into this room. And Bridget turns around and says, I'm sorry. And she sort of like looks up and you hear that sort of clicking sound you heard her make, and slowly, like stars, you start to see little lights blink up on the ceiling as you see some of the smaller spiders, like the one you interacted with, Rowan, actually have a glowing abdomen, and they light up and start to lower down on webs. And so this kind of greenish glow comes over the whole interior of the cave, as just sort of staggered at different heights all the way through this little like Christmas light arrangement of bioluminescent spiders comes down.
Bridget, by the branches, this is beautiful, Bridget.
Yeah, and I guess you get a better look at in here now. So you can see that it is sort of like a second home. There are rocks which have sort of been set up like furniture and weaved over with spider silk, creating all sorts of like hammock-like places to sit. There's a small area with a fire pit for a hearth, and you get a better look at this big weaving wheel, this sort of loom that's been set up. You can still hear that constant crank and turn of the wood as it pulls spider silk down from above. And you can see like there's pots of different dyes sitting around it and like a large chair. And she sort of leads you over to the area where she had Yuri laid down on top of blankets and cloaks. She says, thank you, Rowan. There are times where I spend quite a bit of time down here, especially in this season when the inn isn't quite so busy.
These spiders are quite beautiful. Are they native?
They come from deeper below. They use their bodies to attract prey.
Are we gonna leave Uncle Yuri on the ground here?
And she goes, oh, goodness. He's... Oh, God, again? And she comes over and just sort of easily picks him up and, like, cradles him like a baby and then walks over and lays him down in the pile of cloaks again, and he's just like, oh, this is the worst day of my life.
Our Yuri is a sensitive soul.
He passes out at the drop of a dime.
I think maybe Vaelin and possibly Bree are like hovering. Bree hasn't even come in.
No, Bree will not step foot into that room. Not a chance.
Vaelin definitely like stopped and took a big deep breath and then went inside, and is inside now, but is like just like keeping, a good 10 feet, 15 feet between himself and Bridget at all times.
Okay. Bridget has sort of made her way to the other side of the room, and you see Jellybean, when Jellybean came down, sort of quickly ascended up into the webs above, and is sort of like making her way through all of these light spiders, and just keeping in a general area close to Bridget.
If Ben reached up and tried to grab one of those light spiders, could he? Just like pluck one? Okay, yeah, Ben's just gonna like have one, like just play with one in his hand and just be like, whoa. Yeah,
it kind of sits in your hand and keeps trying to drop down and follow its command to just like be a light. Yeah. But you can keep sort of bringing it back up onto your hand.
Yeah, Ben is yo-yoing the glow spider. And it just says to Bridget, "Are these? So you can talk to them?"
Yes, they understand me.
Wow, like Rowan.
Yeah, and I guess Rowan would be looking at Jellybean up there in the top, and you can see that he keeps going to like call out, and then kind of like looking at Vaelin, and then kind of being like, "No, I should probably." but his attention is on Jellybean.
Yeah, and Jellybean is doing that thing that spiders do, where they are just terrifyingly still. And these, the 8 black orbs, which seem to face in all directions, do seem to be focused intently on the group of you. Unreadable expression of patience.
Vaelin, would you mind if I called Jellybean down? I'd love to.
I mean,
kind of give her a pet.
Yeah, I think even with your natural insight, you can notice that Vaelin is ignoring Jellybean and is just like terror locked, like looking at Bridget.
Okay.
It's Bridget that he is like concerned with right now. Yes, certainly. But whatever you like.
Is Bree coming?
I think as you guys have all kind of walked in there, Bree has just been out there being like,
You're all idiots. Walking literally right into layer of spider. It's not make sense. This is how they keep getting killed all the time without Bree around.
And where's Star?
I'm actually... Star is like hanging out in the back with Bree. Not exactly terribly excited to go back in. But when he sees the group go in, he goes in but like is kind of weaving his head around all of the spiders that are dropping around like lights. Like just like, you know.
I think most of them are pretty far up, but there would be a few that are hanging around your head level. And as you go close, they're just sort of sitting placidly. So they're easy enough to dodge. None of them are coming for you or anything.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah. I'm just gonna bat at one, kind of like a cat would bat at a string of yarn.
You bat at it and it swings away and it swings back and it does that spider thing where it puts up 2 arms like, hey.
Okay. I wince and then just keep going.
Yeah, Ben plops down very comfortably on one of the spider hammocks. It's just the web hammocks, and it's focused on the glowing spider.
Yeah, so you can feel it's not sticky at all. It's super strong and very comfortable.
Well, Bridget, how long have you been here?
Well, I have been here, I suppose, most of my life. My mother brought me here. She sort of taught me how to control my illusion, to blend in, and now I run the inn in her stead.
Well, it's a lovely inn. I guess perhaps, does Yuri need to be awake for this?
I don't know how long we could keep him awake. Maybe if and she kind of turns around and looks up at Jellybean and says, Jellybean dear, you can take a rest, go for a hunt. And sort of like you hear this sort of accompanied with some clicking, and Jellybean makes her way up and out of sight into the darkness above.
Bye, Jellybean. Maybe we'll talk later.
Yeah, kind of like you see her as she's making her way up, just like spins around so her face is in the light, and like clearly looks at you, and then turns around and keeps
budding romance.
Yeah, all her eyes turned into hearts. And she says, "I'm not sure if Yuri needs to be awake for this. Do you think we should?"
Well, maybe we can tell him anything important later. If maybe it's a bit stressful for him, in person.
Yeah, he may need a chance to calm down.
I think we were planning to leave town tomorrow morning, maybe. I don't know. Is there any assurances you need from us?
I think you've proven yourselves to be more than trustworthy now. I thank you for your understanding.
Oh, I've worked with spiders before. I know the fine quality work spiders do.
Well, that's admirable. I don't think most people would share your sentiment. Which is why I guess the only assurance is your continued silence on the issue.
As we've said, we'll we'll keep this entirely to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, as far as we're concerned, this is your story to tell, Bridget.
Very good. My secret to keep, I think. Consider a room always open for you if you pass through again. I'm sorry to hear you leave so soon.
Well, I think it sounded like Bartholomew headed out yesterday, and I know I, for one, would really like to trip him up a bit. So,
yeah, I have no issue with that. He was quite irritating, and I am very, very sure that he would not have treated this the same way that you all have.
What exactly do you know about Bartholomew? Is anything we should be worried about?
He seems harmless enough, extremely full of himself and full of endless, it seems, stories of his own conquerings. But I wouldn't be too worried about him. He doesn't seem to be bad in any sort of way, just annoying.
very condescending. Can't stand it.
He didn't give you any indication as to what direction he was heading?
No, just towards fame and glory, I believe were his words.
Yes, of course.
Well, what about these tunnels in behind? I know they go off for a long ways, and just last night we taken our Bido out for a little trip. We kind of discovered another tunnel as well. Are these yours, and do they go far, or do they kind of mix up with those other more negative tunnels a little further outside of town?
Well, I keep them fairly cordoned off, but I do funnel those tunnels into mine. It's easier that way for Jellybean to make sure that nothing makes its way into town that we don't want.
Right. That's smart. That's good.
We have taken guardianship over this area, so anything that enters my tunnels I will know and Jellybean will know. And we take the precautions necessary to make sure that kobolds or any of the other things that might come up from the Underdark don't make their way into town.
Well, we appreciate the allowances you've made for Bido.
Yes, well, he seems nice.
Very.
He's a charmer. That one.
Have you, in your tunnels or your tunneling, ever encountered a set of gates or a doorway of some sort?
I don't tend to leave much outside of my, what to call it that doesn't sound terrible. House? My extended tunnel house? Let's call it what it is. It's a lair. It's a lair. I know it is.
We can all clearly see that. No need to sugarcoat it.
Yes, it's a lair, a nest. Oh, God.
Well, is Jellybean your baby?
No. But we have known each other for quite a long time. Jellybean has been a good friend for many years, since I was a child.
Oh, how old is Jellybean?
Well, I'm 32. So I think she would probably be about 30 now.
Wow. Super old.
I don't know what that is in giant spider years. But they do live quite a while as long as they're well fed. And Jellybean certainly is.
She does look like she's in good condition.
Yes, yeah.
What does she eat?
Well, just about anything that moves.
Oh.
Is Star in the cave with us right now?
Yeah. There's a chill runs down Star's spine when that's said.
Yes, she was under my instruction to not eat you all immediately.
That's very kind.
Ben's eyes widen. How does she eat?
Do you really want to know?
We really don't need to talk about this.
Probably best that you don't. Yes, she. I'm ashamed to say it, but I was going to let her handle this situation for me.
Well, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that.
As am I.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I don't think it's anything to beat yourself up over in terms of defending your own home. But I'm certainly glad things worked out the way they did.
Yes, and I believe we've struck back, in a way, against Lilia, the raven woman that you met.
Lilia.
Oh,
So
Lilia.
that's her name.
I think her intention of sending you to me was for us to,
Oh, well, she
for you to expose me.
didn't read that situation very well, did she?
In what way did you first cross paths with Lilia?
She is the reason I'm like this.
Oh?
Oh, my.
She took me away from my family when I was very young. Some children from nearby towns. She stole them away in the night, and I was one of them. And they slowly, over time, she changed us in different ways, hoping to build a coven. I believe that's still her intention. She had one once, and it was broken up by my mother,
Oh.
which is when she found me.
Well, Bridget, the first thing you should know is that she's got a raven up behind your Urian up in the tree there.
Yes, I've noticed when they're up and about, she's taunting me with them. I don't know if she's always known I was here, or if she just found out, but she definitely knows and is, I believe, sending you and sending the wolves.
You believe she's responsible for the wolves as well?
I don't know for sure, but I do know that a winter wolf is a powerful ally to the giants, and the giants' territory is not close to ours. That something drove them down.
And you said there are others like you, other children that she's transformed.
Yes.
And are you still in contact with them?
No. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they're alive. I don't know if they're... I mean, I've heard word of other strange things in the forest, and I try to keep track of it. But I don't know if they're out. I mean, I don't know if they've been as fortunate as I have to be able to live a simple life.
Might they still be under her influence?
Well, I don't know. I think if she was able to bring them in to create a coven, she would have. The type of creature that she is much stronger in a group.
Stronger in a group. I mean, most people are, but...
Yes, but them in terrible ways. They get access to awful magics.
Oh.
Has Vaelin heard of any stories like this before?
Do a history or Arcana?
If you'll allow it, I'll do Arcana.
I think you can do Arcana. This is a very magical-based thing.
17.
17? Yeah, these are hags.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have heard stories of hags. They're pretty spread out. You find them pretty well everywhere. And you know that there's like a lot of different types of them, which all have their own different powers. But that, yeah, once they form a coven together, they get really, really powerful scrying magic. That they get access to spells which they can't normally cast. But as long as there are at least 3 together, very close to one another, they can do a lot of damage. They become much more dangerous.
And do you think she's trying to collect you, or to drive you off?
I assume she wants me to join the coven, and she's going to threaten my livelihood until I have no choice but to confront her or join her.
That sounds quite cruel.
Yeah.
Do they have any are you aware of any rules that she would have to abide by, or
Well, I do know that most of us like to keep to our layers. Oh, I don't like saying it out loud. It sounds so evil. I guess in most cases it is, and I guess looking around from an outsider's perspective, this would look quite evil. But
I like it.
thank you. I try. I should get some portraits or something.
What makes them glow? Is it magic, or are they like those mushrooms?
more like the mushrooms.
Are there any skulls hanging with like 2 spiders in the eyeballs?
Yeah, there's like a big, it's like a great elk's skull with like, big glowing eyes and lots of spiders hanging off the antlers.
Just like, it was a gift.
I got that from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath and the Great Beyond.
B&B Beyond?
Ooh.
Hey, that was all right.
There we go.
So she says that they would have layers about. Lilia herself, I don't know where she is based. I do know where some of the other layers are.
Other layers? Do you know anyone else?
Yes, well, I suppose you said you're leaving town.
Yes. I don't think we've decided what direction we're heading. I thought we might have to discuss that with Yuri.
I believe Yuri might have some idea, but he hasn't shared it with us yet.
Well, perhaps someone could be of help to you, and maybe to me as well, and maybe could give you more information on how to stay safe. Perhaps you should try to find my mother.
Oh,
Thought you were.
Yeah, I thought you passed.
Yes, that's what she would like everyone to believe. She led as much of a double life as I did. She is part of a group of witch hunters, which is how she found and collected and saved me. As Lilia's power began to grow, she was intent on dragging her focus away from the town and away from me, so she set out to take care of her herself. And to keep everyone in the dark and not calling on witch hunters from the city who would probably eventually find me. She set out on her own and thought it better that everyone just believed she was gone for good.
So that's quite the sacrifice.
Yes, she's stubborn.
May I ask her name?
Diglin.
and does she keep in touch, or
She does. Every once in a while she'll send an animal of some kind with a note tied to it. She keeps me updated on what she's been doing. Actually, here, and she reaches into her clothes and she pulls out a map.
The Legend of Zelda music note. Hooray for allies!
Yeah! Go team!
She'll join the caravan too! We're gonna need another wagon.
Pick a fight. Let's pick a fight.
Well, nobody can sleep in these anymore.
Yeah,
Too
it's
much
true.
stuff to haul around. Gotta get the tents out.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. So she pulls out a map and hands it to you, and you all get it on your smartphones.
What kind of data plan you have?
These skulls are ominous.
Yes. So on the map is marked where there are a few hag layers in the area, and where Lilia has been spotted in the past while as Diglin has been hunting.
So
we could
to
add
our
another
listeners,
skull.
if you want to turn the volume up, I'll hold my phone close to the mic.
Let everyone hear the map, please.
It's screaming at us.
Probably check our Twitter.
Yeah, we'll upload the map somewhere. Right, Evan? I don't know.
Oh,
Somewhere to the internet.
I thought it said the rotten.
Yeah,
Vaelin, that's you.
Wonder and Blunder.
Did you
on
think it said
Twitter.
the rotten piss? I thought it said the rotten piss.
What,
The
what
Rotten
is it? What does it
Pines.
say?
The rotten
Rotten
pines. I was like, the rotten piss.
That sounds like a place where evil things happen.
Yeah.
I think clearly at Hamel Hall. I think we go straight for Hamel Hall.
I don't see. I see Diglin's camp there, but not on the map. Where's Diglin? You guys see Diglin's camp?
Oh, it's so she is. Bridget says she's in between camps right now. I don't know where she is at this moment in time.
This map will accurately update as we discover more information.
The last place she said she was heading was Cedar Glen.
Okay. That seems like a decent next.
few days
Stop.
journey then? It looks like this lake might be a good a location. The location where we might have spotted Lilia a little
I
bit
think we
south
haven't
of
been
here.
there yet.
You can actually see south where the tree
Oh,
is.
wow,
That's
yeah.
where you saw her.
Cool.
A few days, it looks like, although the mountains might
Yes,
make it
Cedar
trickier.
Glen is quite a ways up the mountain. So it'll take you a couple of days to get to the base, but we haven't had contact with Cedar Glen in quite a long time. They tend to keep to themselves. But there is an elevator which will bring you up the mountainside to get to Cedar Glen.
An elevator?
Yes, it's quite a ways up the mountain, but they have some amazing gnomish technology which will help you make your way up.
Well, that sounds
Oh.
fascinating.
All right. Well, yeah.
You can already see that Vaelin is like starting to relax and get distracted by the adventure ahead.
And I guess with like passively watching, she doesn't seem to be paying attention to any one of you more than the other, and she also looks a lot more relaxed. Like she looks like she did when you first got here. Bree, are you still outside? What are you doing out there?
Oh, you'll find out when you leave the room.
All right, we'll save that.
Oh, well, I suppose we'll have to drag Yuri out of here and have a chat about where we're heading.
Yeah. Now, Bridget, do you have a method you prefer to communicate? You know, if we wanted to send you a message or something.
Oh, well, my reach doesn't extend very far outside of the town. You could always send a letter.
All right. Well, that's what we'll do then.
And is there some way that we might identify ourselves to Diglin, so that she will trust us with this kind of information?
Yes, I suppose that would be a good idea. She's fairly, or I believe she's still quite paranoid. For good reason, but
Certainly.
you'll want to be careful.
It was common at court to use some code words or other signifiers to illustrate that you are privy to some form of scheme or intrigue.
Sick handshakes.
Well, I don't know if she knows any code, or none that I know of anyway, but, and she sort of goes through and takes out the amulet and says, give her this, she will recognize it. This is the amulet that was around my neck, when she found me.
Oh.
Oh.
She won't take us to be an enemy if we are carrying it.
If you say you got it from me, she'll know.
This is the same raven feathered thing?
The same one that
Big
that
gem?
Lilia gave you, yeah.
Okay.
Now, this won't lead Lilia right to her or anything, will it? I mean, there's no tracking or anything involved.
No, I've looked over it. It doesn't appear to be magical at all.
I mean, we've got ourselves a wizard here anyway, Vaelin, so I'm sure if there's anything fishy about it that you yourself haven't caught, then maybe Vaelin would be able to as well.
Oh, right. I now have the means to do so, yes.
I thought we attempted to check earlier, but...
I didn't at the time have the necessary resources.
Oh, of course.
Yes, I think she sent this as a message to me, and a way to get you curious.
Well, it sure boils the bark that she used us in such a, duplicitous way. That really bothers me.
Well, it seems to me that in many ways it worked out for the best. I can't say that I regret that it happened.
Oh, not at all. Vaelin, that's a very good point.
Yes, it's not often that things don't go her way. She's quite conniving, so you've really, I do believe we've struck her quite well today. It's hard to get a victory against her. She's very careful.
Well, hopefully it's the first of many.
Indeed.
Shall we?
Oh, I think that makes sense. Star, you're a little stronger than me. Do you think you could carry Yuri?
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. I'll just toss him on my back.
Okay. Yeah, you start dragging Yuri out as he just kind of mumbles in his unconscious stupor, sort of like a line of sweat dragging across the stone as you drag him out. So everyone's leaving?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess Ben would stop and give the spider, sort of hold the spider out to Bridget.
Okay. Yeah, she like holds out a finger and it hops on, and she just holds it up and it steps back onto a web and makes its way back up.
On the way out, I'm definitely like inspecting some of the web even more closely, like and comparing it like to my memory of what I've been working on to be able to recast the spell.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sort of verifying my calculations.
So you make like an investigation check.
Oh, it's bad. It's sub 10.
Sub 10, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sticky, pretty strong.
Yeah, 7.
I'll go to shake. I'll go to shake Bridget's hand before we go. Like just kind of put out a mitt and give her a smile.
Yeah, she shakes your hand.
I'll grasp it in 2 of mine and be like, "Well, we'll be seeing each other soon now."
I hope so as well. If you find my mother, tell her I'm well, and tell her that well, I suppose both of us are very much in your debt.
Oh, not at all.
I think she'll be a good ally to have. And the others who travel with her, some of them are a little rough, but they are also good allies to have.
Well, it takes all kinds, doesn't it?
If she's as kind and as caring as you have been, we'll be lucky to meet her.
Yes, she isn't.
All right.
I can definitely say that. She's quite a different type, a different sort. Not much of her rubbed off onto me growing up. I learned a lot more from Deba, honestly, than I did from her, but she taught me the importance of controlling my abilities, how to hide my emotions behind illusion, and that is what I needed.
Well, perhaps you're a better fit for the inn anyway. Then.
Yes, I have to say I'm relieved that you'll be finding her, so that I don't have to. I also think that I'm better suited to a quieter life, secluded in the mountains. So if I can continue to do this, then I'll be perfectly happy.
Wonderful.
I hope we find her, and I'm glad your mom's not dead.
Yes, me as well. And then she starts to, as she walks out with you, you see the spiders behind her sort of start to raise back up and the lights dim and go out above. As you all make your way back into the storage room where you see...
a number of vegetables scattered throughout the room with singular bites taken out of it. A couple of sacks and barrels kind of tipped over and spilling into the floor, and Bree standing there with a long squirrel tail sticking out of her mouth as she kind of slurps it up into a very full set of jowls.
Patricia says, "Oh dear."
Oh, Bree is doing inventory.
Thank you.
You have many things labeled food that taste like dirt.
Bree, those are vegetables.
Why they taste so bad?
They're an acquired taste.
You're probably an obligate carnivore. That means that things that are food for you are only animals, and things that are food for other animals are not necessarily meat.
Do you remember the first time you tried to feed me raw squirrel?
Yes, you kept spitting out.
I vomited profusely.
Yes, it was a very confusing moment for I thought you were so sick.
It made me very sick. Yes, different types of food are appropriate for different types of diets and different types of creatures.
Well, you can have small dirt rock. I will stick with squirrel.
Thank you. Very generous.
Well, if you'd like a hand putting this back together, Bridget, I'd be happy to help.
Well, I mean, I can handle it if you have business you need to take care of before you go.
We all look
just
at
a couple
Yuri.
of vegetables on the floor. Honestly, when it comes to you all, I think I came out ahead on this one.
Don't say that too soon. We aren't sure what Baito's up to.
Oh dear.
I think it's daytime, so he's sleeping.
Yeah, he had a big day yesterday too.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you all. What do you do? Bridget just starts picking up.
I think we just need to get Yuri conscious.
Yeah, I think I would take this time to level up.
have you not, or you?
No,
wanna go
I'm
to
just
level
going to
4?
go to level 4 now.
No.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't think that we'd need really Yuri to be woken up. I think we would just start putting the caravan together.
Yeah, we're all old hands at this.
That's true.
Yeah, you've done a lot
We
of
can certainly
caravan work.
ready everything, but I don't think we would like leave with him still unconscious.
I kind of like the idea of him just waking up with the reins in his hands.
Okay, so you go sort of just like prop him in the front seat and start moving all your stuff out of the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we sort of we can just montage through that. You all take your stuff, you get it set on the caravan. I would say it takes a couple of hours, probably not super rushed or anything.
Yeah. At some point, I reach into Bito's disgusting little like nest and just like carry him in my arms.
Yeah.
And put him asleep in one of the caravans.
So yeah, you reach your hands in and get nipped at right away, and you go, "Oh, sorry," and then just goes limp, and you kind of just like build him up.
Like at some point, maybe Dust throws a snowball at Bree, and Bree just picks up like a huge chunk of snow, just like the size of the cat.
Yeah, he ends up inside of it and rolls back down the same hill and explodes onto the same tree as when Star threw him down the hill.
Yeah, Ben is in the caravan making space in his chest. So he's taking some clothes out and like some books. And like kind of looking at it and like thing, and like you see finds Star's dagger on him. So he's like trying to kind of carve a hole in the side of the chest.
Okay.
Ear holes.
Air holes, maybe.
Oh shit! That's so slow.
Okay. So you get the caravan pretty much ready to go after a couple hours work. Yuri is just sort of propped up in the front. He slowly starts to come to, sees the reins in his hands. A very fluffy and well cleaned pair of rams sitting at the front. Gertie and Brett have never looked better.
They got a blowout.
Yeah, they got a blowout. They were super, super puffy, but also like the hair, the fur has been cut out around the eyes, so just these two black beady eyes sticking out through this big puff of fur. And they're ready and raring to go. They're well fed. Jinsey is sort of there helping you get them set up, and she's sort of like talking to you like, oh well, they prefer things more than just oats. I see you've been letting them graze wildly, but dig them out a bit of a space. They were a little underweight when they came here, and it's sort of just laying out some goat maintenance techniques that she's come to throughout the years. I guess some point in that time, Cadgi would come find you and hand you 2 potions. So he comes out and says, "Oh, it looks like you're getting ready to go. Just in time, I got your invisibility potion here. I got your poison."
Well, thank you very much, Kagi.
Yeah, no problem. So the invisibility potion, he explains, will make somebody invisible for an hour or until they attack or cast a spell. And the poison is a poison of paralysis. It can poison somebody for up to 10 minutes. And while they're poisoned, it paralyzes them. And it's a DC 13 con save.
Cool, new toys.
Okay.
Third mystery bottle with no instructions on it or labels.
Is Petunia with him?
Petunia doesn't come out, no.
Okay.
But while he's there sort of explaining these, you kind of like look over towards the shack and you see her kind of like peeking out through the open door.
Yeah, and Ben kind of like tries to like nod subtly sideways to the caravan.
Is he making a deception check for this, or?
Yeah, we'll do I don't know about deception. Do
Sleight
stealth.
of head.
Do
Sleight of hand.
I would say stealth.
I mean, he's been sneaking around drilling holes in his suitcase also.
Well, that was inside the caravan, so I think that would be hard to
We wouldn't have
hard to
noticed
see.
that for sure.
So,
And we're also paying attention to like the instructions on 2 potentially dangerous potions.
Yeah, because I get it.
Get it? You can take advantage because you're not like sneaking, you're just moving your head. I give you advantage.
I got 2 9s. That's an 11.
11? Okay, so that doesn't beat your passive,
No.
so you would see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I know what's going on?
She rolls another nat 20.
Nat 20, okay.
Oh my god.
So you see Ben like code signaling with his hands, and then you kind of like follow over and you see the window at the back of the frozen rose open up and a little backpack fly out. And then you see just like in a puff of snow, Petunia come rolling out the back window and kind of like run into the trees.
Okay.
Jinxie's still there?
Jinxie's still there, yeah.
Ben's gonna walk up and you see there's like a coin purse on his belt now. And he just goes, Jinxie, I would like to buy Cedric.
Oh, Cedric? Well, I mean, we need him.
Do you have a lot of puppies though? And I can pay? You name your price?
Well, for Cedric, he's extremely well trained, specially bred. We're currently using him daily for the food that supplies this whole village. I don't think I could let him go for less than 600 gold. But that could help offset the trading that we would have to do while we raised a new puppy to his level.
Picturing that moment where Kermit does that face scrunch up.
600 gold? Really?
He's an integral part of this community.
You have so many dogs.
We have exactly enough dogs.
We can probably look for puppies along the way, or we could swing back and talk about getting a puppy when they're ready to leave their mother.
Well, the puppies are pretty self-sufficient. You could buy a puppy. We've got a few more than we need.
How much for a puppy?
I could do... For a puppy, they've barely had any training now. 100 gold. They are future integral parts of this community.
That seems like a lot of gold for just a puppy.
And, yeah, she just, like, looks in the back and she says, yes, well, we don't raise them to sell them. We raise them to keep all of us alive.
Telling it like it is.
Would you be able to throw in one of those small lumber sleds?
Make a persuasion check.
13.
13? A sled small enough for a puppy to pull?
Well, the one that he could grow into?
One that he could grow into? Yes, well... And she kind of looks in the back. She says, we have an older sled, which we don't use anymore. You could take that.
Deal. And Ben holds out his hand.
What?
Deal.
You have 100 gold?
I don't have it all right here, but yeah, yes. I'll go get it. And Ben...
And she, like, had started to hold out her hand, and then she's like, I thought I was calling your bluff?
And then Ben, like, you see him jump into the back of the caravan.
She's like, well, okay. And she kind of goes and opens up that back door again, and you see that little rumble of puppies make their way out into the snow.
Oh, God.
So there's 9 puppies that sort of, like, are just sort of toddling around all over the place, like barely. They do that thing where their legs look too long and it doesn't look like they can bend their knees, so they're just kind of, like, flopping around.
Yeah, Ben hops back out, and you see, like, he's got that spider cloak, and it's, like, kind of bulging a little bit around he runs up and just drops it at her feet and holds out his hand.
Well, this was the deal. And then she, like, takes the 100 gold and is, like, looking at you, and then just kind of turns around and brings it in, and she says, well, pick one.
Can I have my cloak back?
Yes. She dumps it out on the table and brings your cloak back.
Okay, I observe all the puppies.
Yep.
I go, kind of, Ben squats down and he's like, sit.
Make an animal handling check.
Hilarious.
Nat 20.
They all sit.
No training, she said.
Yeah. Well, she's like, what the hell?
You have a way with dogs.
I used to play with them at home.
I trained dogs my entire life.
Please,
Couldn't get them to do that.
come here.
They all come towards you.
Well, that's it then. Let's let them aboard.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
Do any
moe.
of them like kind of stand out? Do any of them look a little, or are they all like?
How about
white?
you tell me? You
Okay.
Describe.
Yeah, all right.
You paid 100 gold. Describe your puppy.
It's made of fire and ice.
This is the. Okay, I'll take that one with the wings.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one very small, fluffy dragon.
No, there's one that has one green eye and one white eye, or like that husky white with a kind of a splotch that goes over its eye and an ear. And yeah, Ben will pick him up.
Okay.
Pick it up. I don't know the gender. I don't want to gender.
Flip a coin.
That's what God does.
It's female. Pup.
Yeah.
Yep.
She says, "Well, good choice. Very funky." And yeah, it's just like.
Oh, okay. Is Cedric working? Can I say goodbye?
He is working. He'll be back tonight.
No, I think we're gonna be gone. Will you tell him goodbye for me?
I will. And
Thank you.
tear.
Yeah, and I'll. Ben is gonna tie the sled to the back of the caravan.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's lots of room to like, even if you want to secure it to the side, it's not a.
Yeah, if he could, like, he'll just maybe like ask, like, have a quick little breakdown from Jinsey. I'm just like,
Yeah,
where
Jinsey's
does-
like, you're going to have to run him a lot every day. He's a running dog. He will prefer, or she will prefer to stay outside. Most of the time, they get quite warm. She'll sleep a lot now. That's how she grows. And make sure you give her a good, steady meat diet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, goodbye, pup.
And yeah, Ben holds the pup up to Jinsey, like facing her.
Yeah, and she like rubs its head, and it's just.
Yeah, and then puts her back under her arm like a little football, his arm, and makes off.
Hey, put a puppy in your inventory.
I love this game.
We should just get more and more animals so Mike has to do more and more animal noises.
I support this.
I mean, we're just on that way, right? That's just how it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So what other characters would you like to collect and bring on the caravan?
This whole town, right? We're just going to pack them all in.
Everybody, yeah. I'm just going to run and see if Cadgi has one more thing. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. Cadgi's making his way back towards the house, and he, like, yeah, you see him, like, you catch up with him as he's sort of bringing up the counter.
Cadgi, your daughter, is she usually pretty adventurous? Had any difficulties with her running off?
Oh, yeah, she slips away every chance she can get.
How do you like to deal with that?
Usually I give her more work to do around the shop.
Okay, and would you prefer to catch her now or when we're on our way out of town?
What? Oh, no. And he, like, looks and sees the open window and, like, all the little footprints going off. And he's like, no, I thought I locked that window. Gosh. And he, like, makes his way over and just goes, like, Petunia, Craggle Snap, you get back here right now. And you see, like, a little head poke out. And she's like, I'm going adventuring. He's like, no, you are certainly not. You get back here. You're gonna sweep this whole shop top to bottom. And she's like, I want to kill more ghosts with swords. And they, start screaming at each other from the outside. He's like, I will come. I'm coming out there. And he makes his way out. You see him actually, like, grab a couple of things off the counter and start, like, making his way out. And yeah, I guess as for the rest of it, while you guys are getting ready, Ben, you see Petunia like make a break for the caravan, and then you see Cadgy just go like, "Ugh," and he throws a bag, and it flies through the air, and pops and vines come up out of the ground and just grab Petunia, and he like gathers up the vines and throws them over his shoulder and starts dragging her back towards the
All of
towards
this,
the frozen
like,
road.
it's just head and shoulders above the snow.
Yeah, the two of them can barely move at the snow. Yeah, she's like, no, oh, I want to adventure, please. Please, it was so much fun. I learned so many scary, weird things about ghosts.
Sorry, Petunia.
She's like, I will see you again, Benjamin.
Welcome back.
Real quick, can I go see how much one of those spider cloaks costs? Buy one from Bridget.
They were free. Just steal them.
I will not.
The spider cloaks, like that, the knitted ones that she makes. Yeah, you can. We can. If you you could have asked about that like on the way out.
Yeah.
And she would have given you one.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So you can mark that down.
Very generous.
Yeah.
After all the destruction.
So Yuri wakes up with the reins in his hands, and he's like, "Oh, gee, what happened? Ugh.
We're all packed, Yuri.
What?
Ready to go.
We're leaving?
Aren't we?
Well, don't we
I
have
suppose we are. I don't remember exactly what happened, but we are ready to go.
All right, where do we go, Yuri?
What?
You dug up information?
Yes, I did.
Yes, it was ditch digger guarantee. Ping!
Right. Yes, I did say I was going to do that, and I did do it.
Was it Cedar Glen by any chance?
That sounds familiar. Is that towards the mountains?
That way.
Okay, well, the strange lady who was asking about the War of the Weave, was heading up into the mountains. So, perhaps we could track her down on the way. She might be looking for the same thing.
Sounds perfect.
Okay, well, onwards, Birdie and Gret. Oops. Oh, I'm still fucking... Oh, God. What happened to me today? Oh, no, I'm starting to remember again.
Probably you should focus on something else right now.
Yeah, you're right. I should blind myself with my work like I always do when I get upset. All right, Gertie, Brett, on we go! And you see, like, some of the people come out as you start to make your way out of the town, and they're waving. All the kids, Ben, you see, are lined up as Burf comes, like, clanking out of one of the houses and, like, creakily waves to you through the suit of armor. Which he hasn't taken off since the day. Since that day.
It smells real bad.
Yeah. That was just two days ago, right?
2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he's
It's
a
enough for
grown
armor to
boy.
get
That's like a
stained.
pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And he has been active.
just running and bouncing off of trees in the side of his house and stuff. Couldn't even feel it.
Yeah, Ben is like holding up the puppy to everyone, just like holding it out to everybody.
Sickness pride.
He's like, yeah. Ah, Savannah, enemies,
Yeah, they all like shield their eyes as it eclipses the sun as you go by. All the kids are there. Megan, you even see like Tamiel leaning against a tree. Gives you like just a single upward nod.
Smoking a clove cigarette.
Yeah.
And Ben catches his eye and gives him a single downward nod.
Ooh. As you make your way out, Deba's there. All this colorful cast of characters who you met in Pinefell are there to see you off. As you make your way back into the forest of the Worldspine Mountains. The cart creaks as the caravan of wonders glides into the trees and out of sight of Pinefell. The kids run towards Tilia Manor to start decorating their new clubhouse, as Millie the Ghost, invisible to those around her, floats off towards a forest sojourn with a copy of Eat, Fight, Loot tucked under her arm. Deba leads a group of lumberworkers into the trees, and Jinsey stares dumbfounded at the 100 gold coins scattered on her workbench as 8 puppies nip at her boots. Bridget leans in the doorway of the steady stream as the town bids farewell to the party and starts to return to their everyday tasks. She smiles and shakes her head, then turns and heads inside. She pauses to look at the patched hole in the kitchen ceiling, laughs quietly, then heads up the stairs of the empty inn, pulling a key from her apron as she goes. Bridget unlocks her bedroom door and steps inside, revealing a large, cluttered room decorated with ornate weapons, animal trophies, and weaved tapestries, showing stories of adventure, danger, and triumph. She pauses next to one, showing an image of Bridget towering over a muscular, smiling dwarf woman with wrinkled brown skin and wild black hair. "Don't kill them, Mom. I think you'll like them if you give them a chance." She looks out the window and sees the raven, still and staring at her. Bridget's face shows no change in emotion, but beneath the illusion, her jaw tightens. A pane of glass shatters as, almost too quick to see, she grabs a crossbow off the wall and fires a bolt through the window. The raven doesn't cry out. It keeps its eyes locked on Bridget until the last of its life leaves it. Bridget holds its gaze. Your move. Somewhere dark and far away, Lilia, the Lady Unkindness, chuckles. Hello, it's Mike Fardy, your Dungeon Mom. Thank you for tuning in to episode 22 of Wonders and Blunders. It's the most spoopiest time of the year. Well, almost. We're moving into the Halloween season, so we're going to start our potentially 2-month-long Halloween special. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I do know I'm very, very excited about it. Halloween is a very special time of year. Definitely my favorite holiday. I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but I'm very excited for what we have planned for our Halloween specials. I don't know. It's going to be special for a while. But all that to say, thank you again for continuing to listen. Please tell your friends about the podcast. It really helps us get the word out. If you keep spreading the word, you can do that by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher you listen to us on. You can do it by talking to us on social media. That's at Wonder and Blunder. We're just about caught up to the area where your inspirations are going to start coming into play. So keep sending along your favorite moments from the show, and we'll gift out those inspirations to people who have done it and it hasn't come up yet. I'm sorry, but it's coming very soon, I promise. And besides that, keep being the best. We love you very much, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye!